The pressure to be great and be this great team is off their shoulders. Now they can just say, you know what? Detroit's coming to town. Let's ruin their season. Green Bay's coming to town. Let's ruin their season. We're going to Dallas. Let's ruin Jerry Jones's life. Hello, friends. Thank you for joining. Thought I'd do something a little different today and try to be completely positive and serious, not sarcastic. It's weird for me. In fact, if my wife watches this, she'll probably be in shock.
What?
And I've seen all this kind of hysteria around the Vikings. It's kind of been all year. Before the season, hysteria about how great they were going to be and how great J.J. McCarthy was going to be and how great everything was. And now it's how bad everything is, how everything's falling apart, how we're wasting Justin Jefferson's prime. Kevin O'Connell's the worst thing ever. Kwesi's the worst thing ever. Or O-line's the worst thing ever. Whatever. Everything's bad. Everything's falling apart. And I thought back to what Aaron Rodgers said in, I don't know, was it like 10 years ago now? When did he say that? He said, RELAX. I do, of course, look to Aaron Rodgers for all my life advice, without question. He's never led me wrong. My first failed marriage is evidence of that. But now that was a very different scenario. That was, I think, 2014. I think the Packers were 1-2 at the time. So it's still very early in the season. And obviously, Aaron Rodgers knew the team was pretty good. I think they went on to be 12-4. And so we're not in that position now. It's not like relaxed. Everything's going to be great. We have a great team. We're going to win the division and maybe make a playoff run. No, just relax, because it just does no good to get so upset. He's worthless. Just relax, because generally when things are bad, they're never as bad as they seem. And generally things always get better at some point. And they only get better sometimes if you go through the bad times. One reason to relax is, even though you may look at the Vikings team, see their record, see their losing streak, see J.J. McCarthy's play or his injuries, and think, well, they're not going to be good for a long time. Don't think that. It's not all talent. That's one thing I think we can learn. It's not all talent. Look at the Vikings offensive line. They are just so bad. They are so bad. And a number of them leave and go to other places and they become good. Gee, it's not a coincidence. It's not all talent. So this very group of players the Vikings have, with the exception of probably Byron Murphy, could be a pretty good team if they just either got better coaching, played more as a team, had better leadership, something. That's kind of what's missing. There's a missing piece here that could easily be inserted if the Vikings make the right move. For example, J.J. McCarthy and his 9 thing. If the Vikings had any semblance of veteran leadership, somebody would have taken him aside and said, you talk about the 9 one more time, we're going to pound you 9 times in the bathroom and stick your head in the toilet. I mean, there's a lack of leadership when this kind of punk young kid comes in, went to IMG Academy or some fake high school, and starts acting like a superhero. Vikings need leadership. They can get that maybe. It's not hard. You just got to bring in the right guy. Another reason to relax is we're not focused on going to the playoffs, making a playoff run. Definitely not winning a Super Bowl. But now we can be the spoiler. The pressure to be great and be this great team is off their shoulders. Now they can just say, you know what? Detroit's coming to town. Let's ruin their season. Green Bay's coming to town. Let's ruin their season. We're going to Dallas. Let's ruin Jerry Jones's life. You know, they can do all these things, right? And I'm not someone who really cares that much about beating the Packers. like a lot of Vikings fans. It doesn't do much for me. But in a season like this, it's all we've got. Let's hold on to that. That gives us a reason to watch the rest of this season. And maybe this team can surprise us if they can have a quarterback who can actually show up and not get hurt. Another reason to relax is this is better, I think, for next year, because the Vikings seem to do better as underdogs with low expectations, kind of like me.
I trust you as twinsies.
Oh, it'd be great. Me and Kirk Cousins as twins. This year, the expectations seemed kind of ridiculously high. Granted, people looked at last year and they won 13, 14 games, however many it was, and just assumed, well, they were that good. And they brought in a bunch of free agent signings, I think. I don't know everybody they signed, I think, got hurt, but expectations were way overinflated for this team. Way overinflated, especially with a rookie quarterback, especially with a quarterback who'd never played a snap in the NFL. Next year, number one, the expectations will be lower. So, the players might be hungrier. Maybe the players need to get hungrier. Maybe they need to come into the season not expecting the league to fall over and roll over for them. So they'll come into next year, low expectations. We'll have lower expectations, but you know what? Things can turn quickly. They could be a lot better very quickly. Yes, I think they have a bad salary cap situation. They haven't drafted well. May seem to be a dearth of talent, but you could see the right coaching, the right attitude, the right mojo matters a lot. Look at last year. They weren't a great team. 2022, they weren't a great team, but they kept winning. They can do that again, but they're more likely to do it if they come into the season not expecting to do that. Another reason to relax is because it could get worse. There's a Bruce Cockburn song, and I don't know if anybody knows who Bruce Cockburn is. I went and saw him at the Parkway Theater in Minneapolis over the summer. He's an old Canadian singer-songwriter. He has a song called The Trouble with Normal. And the chorus goes, "The trouble with normal is it always gets worse." We may think this is normal now, but wait a couple weeks. And I'm not saying that'll happen. It's hard to get much worse, but it could get worse. It could get worse before it gets better. You just got to prepare yourself for these things. Last reason to be hopeful is maybe now we can have a bit of a reset. Not necessarily firing everyone or cutting everyone or bringing a new sheriff in town like when Denny Green joined. But maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe some people have to go. And I don't want to get into calling for anybody's firing.
Rick Spielman, get him out of here.
As far as you know. But a reset may be needed. Maybe some of the old guard needs to move on. The Harrison Smiths. Maybe Justin Jefferson needs to move on. I don't know how we make that happen, but are we winning with him? Does it make sense to have your best player be a wide receiver, especially when nobody can get him the ball? Would you rather have a really good offensive line or Justin Jefferson? That's an easy answer. And the average Vikings fan probably wants Justin Jefferson because they want to wear his jersey, and they don't want to wear a Kirk Loudermilk jersey or a Gary Zimmerman jersey or a Ron Yeri jersey. It's like, well, I want my Justin Jefferson jersey so I can do the skull chant. Well, I want to see us win something in the trenches, at the line of scrimmage. And I don't want to see offensive linemen getting concussions, wrecking their knees, just getting hurt all the time. And if we had an offensive line that could block, our quarterback could drop back, make some reads. Our receivers would have time to get open. And Kevin O'Connell's really long, slow developing plays might work once in a while. But also a reset might mean new coach, new general manager. I think we need both. I don't necessarily think we're going to get either. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're both back. And if they are back, well, that just means we know what to expect. We know what to expect. And we need to, at some point, take responsibility for our own kind of cluelessness as Vikings fans. When we come into a season with a quarterback who's never played a snap and think we're Super Bowl contenders. Especially when that team perennially has no offensive line. Oh, we got a revamped offensive line. We brought in all this offensive line. But look what happened. Nothing changed. It's not going to change with this regime. Just so you know. So have some realistic expectations. But we may have a reset. We may have a reset. And new is always interesting. Unless it's Mike Tice, or Brad Childress, or Leslie Frazier. It's always interesting, having something new. Even if Kevin O'Connell comes back, which he probably will, maybe he'll adapt. I mean, he has to. What he's doing isn't working. He has to do something. But in the end, just relax. There's fun to be had still. Let's play spoiler. Let's win a couple we shouldn't on the way out. Let's identify some players who are hungry. That's the key. Who's hungry? Who, on a bad team that has nothing to play for, keeps fighting? I'm guessing it won't be Byron Murphy. But we'll see. We'll see what we got. And maybe next year in the draft, we can at least draft one guy who makes the team.